Welcome to the Class Business Podcast. I'm Chrissy Monaghan, your host, and today we are joined by Emma Harper, CEO and founder of Core Plus Tuition. Emma has built a trusted tutoring business supporting children aged 8 to 18 through personalized learning that focuses not just on academic progress, but also confidence and resilience. Alongside running Core Plus, she's also mentored service-based business owners through her Make Your Marketing Count. And today she joins us as one of the judges for the Class Business Awards. So excited to have this conversation. Let's dive in. Emma, it's absolutely amazing to have you here with us today. For everyone that's listening online or watching us on YouTube, please tell everyone who you are, what do you do, and where do you do it?
So I am Emma Harper. I am the founder of Core Plus Tuition, a tuition business that helps 8 to 18-year-olds with multiple subjects, different types of tuitions. We do one-to-one, online, in-person, small groups. We do the lot. But I'm also a clarity business mentor for other service-based business owners. And we are based in North Oxfordshire in a lovely village called Croppedy.
Ooh, I've not heard of that village before. So, wow, so you've been in business for quite a while now. How many years?
So I started the business in 2020, so 6 years.
Okay.
That was just me as a sole trader on my own, a little bit of a side hustle. I'd gone through quite a traumatic 6 months. I lost my mum when I was 8 weeks pregnant, and I was diagnosed with PTSD. And basically, I was a classroom teacher, decided that my mental health was suffering because of teaching and I hadn't coped particularly well with the stress. So I needed a way out. And I started sort of thinking, well, if I just do this as a bit of a side hustle, I can use that to reduce my hours and find another job, was the plan. And within 6 months, I'd got too much work for me and I took on another tutor. And within 12 months, we were offering a second subject.
Wow. Let's just dive into because obviously that's a lot.
Yeah.
Tell me about, so did you always want to be a teacher? Because I'm always really interested because I feel it's such a shame that so many great teachers are leaving teaching because of the said structure and the system. Yeah. Did you always want to be a teacher? Like, what was the dream when young Emma was looking at her future?
I wanted to teach since I was 3.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was always teaching. As I grew up, the age that I wanted to teach grew up as well. So I started wanting to be a primary school teacher. And then eventually secondary, and then decided that maths was the thing for me. There was a toss-up between English and maths, I have to admit. I went down the maths route because I didn't want to mark essays, is the honest truth. So, yeah, I've always wanted to teach. And you're right, like, teachers are hemorrhaging out, good teachers. And it was never... For me, leaving the profession wasn't about leaving the kids behind. It wasn't about leaving teaching behind. It was about leaving all the rubbish behind.
Yeah, the system.
It's the system. There were elements of behaviour that I was struggling with as well. I wouldn't be honest if I didn't mention that. But I stayed. When I started my business, even when I took on the other tutors, even when I rebranded as Core Plus Tuition, I stayed as a teacher. I didn't actually leave until December 2024.
Did a good 4 years of staying in teaching. And were you a primary teacher?
Secondary maths.
Secondary. I understand that. Yeah, okay, when you say about behaviour.
Yeah.
So, and... did you do primary teaching ever before, or was it literally just went straight into secondary?
Straight to secondary.
Right, okay. So qualified as a secondary school teacher in the system, wasn't working for you, and you had I'm going to set up a side hustle. So when you looked at your original side hustle, what did that comprise of?
It was just me. And I was like, I'll just put a few Facebook posts out and see if I get any interest. And I got an influx, like I say, more than I could cope with. And that's when I sort of started reaching out and building a network of other tutors and finding other organisations, people like Qualified Tutor, the Tutors Association, all of those sort of organisations came about at that time for me. They'd been around for a lot longer, but I found them at that point. And I was like, oh my goodness, there's a whole profession. Like, this isn't just a side hustle for everybody. And I was like, okay, so what do I do with this now? Took on another tutor to help me with the maths tuition. And then our current clients were saying, well, I need English help as well. So I took on an English tutor. And at that point rebranded. I was just Emma Maths Tutor, even when I took on somebody else. But when we started offering other subjects, I rebranded as Core Plus, and didn't look back. We're now up to 20 tutors. We're now offering, I think, 7 subjects. Like I say, we're one-to-one in person and online, and small groups in person as well.
I'm really interested to find out. So basically, you know, obviously you offered your services out as a maths tutor. What were the parents coming to you for that the children weren't getting in school, that they were having to seek support and help?
There's a mixture. There is a mixture. There is an element of, my child hasn't got a maths teacher. That's a big thing at the minute.
Wow.
I think the last stats I saw from the Education Endowment Foundation was something like 24% of maths lessons are being taught by non-specialists. It's
That's
more
worrying.
for science, and it's not far behind for English. But those stats were from 2020, so I think it's probably worse now. So there is that element of, they're not being taught by a specialist, like they're not getting that specialist input that they need to make progress. When I did tutoring when I was a young teacher, many, many moons ago, students generally came to us to get that C grade. That's what I saw tutoring as. But actually now they're coming to us for a whole different reason. Some of them are to still get the pass to a 4, but some of them it's actually, I need the 6, I need the 7 for my A levels, and they're not getting enough input in school to push them. Some of it is they've got gaps in their knowledge because mental health has become such a big thing now. They've missed school, they've struggled to get into school, so we're filling gaps for some students. For others, we do work with students that don't go to school at all. We're an alternative provision. So it just depends. Across our 70 students, they're all coming to us for different reasons. And I think that's a big change since, well, probably even since I started the business.
That's so interesting that you're saying like the need, because obviously there's obviously a massive demand for your activities. Now, obviously, when you launched your little side hustle, as you called it, you just posted. Where did you post? Did you just post in some free groups on your page? Yeah.
Just used my network and local groups. It's funnily enough, it's what I teach now to other business owners. But yeah, I just reached out on Facebook and just sort of said, I'm doing this. Does anybody want it? Does anybody need it? And it didn't take very long for the places to fill at all. And I was obviously limited. I was limited to after school. At that point, I had 1 child under 2. I was pregnant. So my time was limited. But even when I extended my hours, I was filling them easily.
Okay, so I love that fact that you just got started and you put some posts out, people come. Obviously, there was high demand and there was a problem and you had said solution. So at some point you were like, obviously, I need to grow my team. And you said you recruited your first tutor in maths and then the second one in English. You've got a team of 20 tutors now?
Yeah.
I know my audience would be really interested to find out how you recruit, because recruiting teachers just in general as class leaders, etc., for their classes, is such hard work, like finding the right people. So have you got any nuggets that you could share with everyone?
To be honest, it's my biggest headache.
Oh yeah, I say that to everyone.
It's my biggest headache. Finding good teachers, but not even teachers, because I'm not one who thinks they have to be qualified teachers. I think some kids don't cope in school because they need something different to a teacher. So we do on our team have university students who can give a slightly different angle and can help certain students access that teachers
get the
can't.
best out of them. Yeah, get the best.
Absolutely.
People.
Teachers are amazing, and we have qualified teachers on the team, but I have a team that isn't just qualified teachers. So finding good tutors for me is really, really hard. I think ex-teachers tend to feel burnt out, and there is a little bit of trauma in there that they don't want to carry on with the education because it brings back too much of that trauma. I think if they're still in school, they don't have the capacity to do extra hours. So it's really hard. It is really hard. Networking has been key for me to kind of build my network, meet more people, join organisations where there's other people. All of my tutors are freelancers, so they work for other people as well. So we can share kind of those good tutors. There's enough space for everyone is my belief, my true belief. So networking and sharing with other tutors is a way to do it. I did spend a lot of time working on my recruitment process, and that's where I got the quality from. So I went back to my values, the business values, did a lot of work around that, made sure that the questions I was asking at interview and all those sorts of things. And what that's done is given me better tutors.
Yes.
So when they do come on board, they're tutors that align with my values already. I'm not having to coach them to work in a way that I want them to work. They already are that person. And that probably is my golden nugget. It's spend some time on recruitment. Don't rush it.
I mean, there's loads in there for people. Yeah, it's one of the biggest challenges I know for people finding teams. And usually, like, I work with clients and they're like, I need a new teacher, but I'm also drowning in admin. And I'm like, find a VA. You're going to find them faster than finding a teacher. Buy back that time first. And then maybe spend some proper time on the recruitment to actually find someone, like you said, who aligns with your values, who is going to deliver your classes, etc., in the way that you want, in the brand that you're building. So obviously you've got a team of 20 tutors and you've got like lots and lots of clients. What do you think are the key ingredients for building the kind of trust and families with your communities? Because I'm going to assume your people stay with you for a long time.
Yeah, generally they do. They come in at the bottom end and they stay for a while. I think for me, being what school isn't, and that's not anti-school. Like, I still think the colleagues that are in school are doing an amazing job and they are stronger people than I am. But the families that seek out tuition, they don't want more school. So we've got students, just as an example, I've got students that aren't going to pass their GCSE in June. School are telling them they just need to work harder, they just need to work harder, they just need to work harder, and then they'll pass. But unfortunately, on results day, what that means is that we're going to have a very disappointed family. So my approach is very, very different. As you can probably tell from my conversation already, I believe in honesty. It's one of my biggest values. So tactfully, I've spoken to that family and I've said, I don't think we're going to get there. Not this time. And instead of just going, I've written you off, which again is what some schools do, I've gone, let's make a plan. They're not going to make it by June. You only started with us in January, which some parents do.
Because they're thinking it can be fixed
They
quickly.
think we're miracle workers and we're not.
Yeah.
So instead, I say, well, let's make a plan. What we'll do is we'll use that exam as another mock. We'll see how far we can get by then. But what we won't do is we won't stop the tuition. We'll carry on, and we're actually aiming for the November resit.
Oh, okay. I did not know this now. So do they let you do resits at a later date?
In maths and English, you can resit in November. And again, parents don't know that either.
No, because when I was young, it was literally just did your exam once, and if you failed, you failed, and if you passed, you had to wait a whole another year. You had to resit the whole year. Whereas
English and maths, you can resit in November. So by being honest with the parents, they like that. And when I say it to other tutors, they're a bit like, you can't say that. And I'm like, you can. They just want honesty. They want that honesty. But also, I haven't been honest and then just left them to flail. I've been honest and given them a plan. I've given them a solution and I've given them the support. And I think in the 6 years I've been doing it, only one parent hasn't liked that conversation, and I've had it many times. Generally, they do like the reaction I usually get is, well, why haven't school told me that?
Yeah, exactly.
Why has nobody told me that he's not going to get there? And I get it, because school colleagues need those results, don't they? They need, so they're going to push for the pass. But actually, what are we doing to our young people? And I think that's probably why the parents react well to that, because I'm putting the child first. Yes, they need their pass, but actually not at the detriment of their mental health.
Plus, and also, like you said, you're working towards to get them that pass. It's just at a later point. And I like that, because it's just nice. Like you said, you're telling the parent, this is the plan. We do this, we test at treat the exam as the mock, and we do a test and we take the results from that, and then we work towards the goal. I feel like a parent would feel a lot more supported like that. Like you said, instead of setting them up to fall and then they get, like you said, not happy because it's not the result that they thought they were going to get. Also, I love that you do that for your business, that you're honest with the parents in that way. And obviously you're working with lots of different children, and I'm just trying to think how they must be feeling as well, because obviously they've got this pressure that exams are coming, etc., and there's this expectation, isn't it, that I must pass it. How do you guys, like as a team, like build that child's confidence and resilience? Like, just for example, if they know they're going to go and do this exam, and they're thinking this is supposed to be my big exam, but I'm working towards a later date.
It's the same conversation with the child. It's the same. We're not saying you can't get there. We're just saying that for whatever reason, you missed year 8, you missed year 9, you haven't had a teacher for 12 months, or you've been struggling because you've got an undiagnosed SEND need, or whatever that is, being honest with the child. And again, the reaction you get from the child is a bit like, there's an adult being honest with me? And it's the same when they're misbehaving in our lessons. I had a conversation with the year 11 last year. You're not pulling your weight. You're not doing what you need to be doing. You're wasting your parents' money. And if you carry on, you won't be coming back. And this child looked at me and went, you can't do that. It's business. Yes, I can. And I'm not going to take your parents' money for no reason. He was as good as gold. And he even came back after the results and said, thank you.
Yeah, your business is built on a lot of your values, like you said, your values, your trust, and obviously you want that reputation. It's part of your brand. Yeah, it's part of your brand, because parents will tell other parents.
And I think the children and the parents appreciate that. Children are treated generally as young children, but by that point they're young adults. They get it. And actually, if you're honest with them, sometimes that can help. I can have different conversations with them now to what I could as a classroom teacher. And actually, therefore, I get more out of them now. I get further, And I wish our colleagues in the classroom could do that, because their hands are tied.
Yeah, they've got the hands are tied and the fear, isn't it? So for people like our audience, like running service-based businesses, supporting children and families like day in, day out, and I think you've touched on this already, like what do you really think makes a business stand out? Particularly, I would say probably in the tutoring world.
I think customer service. And I think that's all service-based business owners, whether you are running a tuition business, whether you're running an after-school club, whether you're a dog walker or a massage therapist, it doesn't matter what the service is. People want to know that you understand them. They want to know and have their hand held. Like one of the workshops I run for business owners, it's about the client journey. And one thing that causes a lot of issues for a lot of businesses is that they don't tell the client what's going to happen. They don't talk them through that journey, that, okay, you've inquired, but then there's silence. And then you get an email a week later and then it's like, okay. And then, but what happens next? That hand holding, that customer service, I think that makes such a difference to anybody that's buying a service. You feel comfortable, you feel safe in that environment.
And that they've been onboarded correctly. Like you said, once you've got an inquiry coming in, they should be going through the stages of, I call it like an engaging sales process, to obviously when you make the sale, and then after that it's the onboarding, like getting them onboarded, so like you said, they feel safe, they know that what's happening, they know what the next steps are, and like that can totally apply to all businesses. And you were talking about that you mentor other business owners as well. You've got Make Your Marketing Count.
Yes.
What's that about? Tell everyone what that is about.
So basically, when I left the classroom in 2024, the business was doing well, but in the next 12 months after that, I tripled the turnover of the business.
Oh, okay. So I've just been talking about this new level, new devil brings, levels bring new devils.
Yeah. So I left the classroom and the business soared. And people were approaching me and saying, how did you do it? What have you done? How did you build the business so quickly? And I was giving away all this free advice. And then somebody stopped me and was like, "What? Why aren't you charging for that?" And I was like, Can I do that? Like, is that a thing? And then a whole new world opened up. A bit like when I found the tuition profession, this whole world of online business opened up. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I started running a Facebook group called Make Your Marketing Count, where I do weekly free training in there. And I also run courses to help people use Facebook for marketing. And I do one-to-one mentoring. So yeah, it was basically, I'm a very reactive business owner. And as things have progressed, I've adapted and evolved. And yeah, I love that side of my business. I love working with other business owners.
Is that for what type of business owners is that group for? Like, is it just tutors?
It's for any service-based business owners. So we've got tutors in there, we've got massage therapists in there, dog walkers, VAs, literally anyone that's providing a service. Because I think business for service-based business owners is very different to product-based businesses. So yeah, we're service-based. And yeah, it's open to everyone.
Love it that you're helping other industries as well, not just in the tutors world.
Yeah.
And so obviously you are going to be a judge for us at the Class Business Awards. I'm so excited that you're doing it because you're bringing all that knowledge and expertise from that world. Like, what type of things are you going to be looking for when you start reviewing the applications when we send them your way?
That's a really hard question. Like I say, in business, I'm very reactive. I'm very, there's a need there. So I think a lot of it will come from my gut of how does this feel? Is this business running with the business owner? Or is it just a detached entity, I guess? I think I like the idea of founders' values being really solid in their business and being seen in their application. I think customer service, all those things we've talked about, strong values, customer service, and being there for, like I say, the customer and whoever they're serving. But it will come from my gut, I think.
Oh, well, the reason I was asking that question, because obviously all the judges are going to come in with different angles, because that's just a natural thing, isn't it? Everyone's got their own bias. And it's been interesting hearing people saying, yeah, I'll be looking for this. I'll be looking for this. So no, that's really, really cool. Because we want to see who is running with the business, who's listening to the needs of their customers, who's serving them, onboarding them. And I think you're going to get great applications, because one of our questions does dive into values, because I'm very much about mission, vision, values, build your personal brand. And obviously that's part of your process in obviously getting the business out there. And sometimes you see straight away when you've got brands that don't, like, people that they don't know what their values are, they don't know what their mission is, because they've not really done that foundation work. They've just set it up.
And I suppose in that business, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I suppose you were probably a bit the same when you started. You started a side hustle and then got going, and then was like, actually, like, what is this going to look like in the future?
I did go through that process. I very much did get to a point where I was like, and I think it was when I created that Core Plus brand that I went back and went, right, okay, this is proper now. This is a business now. And that's when I did that work around vision, values, and all of that, and then worked from there. And to be honest, I go back to it all the time now. I do go back, reflect and tweak, and I think that's part of the process as well. And what I'll be looking for is that reflective piece in the applications as well.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm always a bit also like, if it doesn't fit in with the plan or what you're building, and then you shouldn't do it. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, isn't it? So I think that's why that type of doing that work is really good, because then you can say no to things, because saying no is actually the hardest thing, especially when you're building and you just want to say yes to everything. Sometimes you have to say no and walk away because it doesn't fit.
Definitely.
Well, Emma, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us today. I know my audience are going to love this one, because there's lots of nuggets in there that they can take away and start looking at implementing into their business. We will connect everyone with you and tell them where you hang out. But where do you mainly hang out? Are you a Facebook girl or are you a LinkedIn?
Facebook group. So my Facebook group. But the business is on LinkedIn and on Instagram and on Facebook. So wherever you're happy, we're there.
Yeah, okay. We'll make sure we put all those links in place. So if you've loved today's conversation, please give us a comment in the content in the video and share with another business owner this will resonate with. But thank you so much for your time today, Emma. It's been brilliant to have you.
Thank you for having me.